This is the Sisterhood Society podcast, where three sisters talk life, food, fashion, kids, and everything in between. Become part of our sisterhood where everyone is welcome at our table. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Sisterhood Society podcast. We are now on season 2, episode 3. So we are super excited to be back. As always, we're always excited to be here. And we are doing an episode called All Things Christmas. So I haven't told my sisters what we're going to talk about today. I'm basically just springing it upon them so that they can come up with their most genuine first answer responses. So we're going to start with what's good in the sisterhood before we get into all things Christmas. So we're going to start with Tara. What's your good? If you can find one today, we're having a little bit of a rough day.
I think I'm almost all done Christmas shopping, so I feel like that's a positive.
That's nice.
So yeah, we went in on some gifts, which was good. I was able to find some stuff for our dad, which he's impossible. I think I found something, at least one thing cute for our mom, and the kids were kind of doing like group gifts. So, but yeah. I don't remember if I said this on previous podcasts, but we got rid of the elf because I hate it. And so I've been doing these like little mailboxes where they get like a little, almost like a stocking stuffer each day. It might be the death of me come day 25, but it is, the kids are enjoying that. So I've been having to restock the mailbox because I didn't like go out and buy like 25 things in advance. So I've been having to every couple of days go get more crap. So that's a little bit of annoyance, but the kids think it's so fun every morning. Is there something new?
That is really fun.
So
it's a really fun idea.
They are enjoying it. And then they get all their stocking stuffers all throughout the month rather than trying to like pack it all in like on Christmas. So yeah.
I, on the other hand, haven't even really started my Christmas shopping. Actually, Isaac is the one that has been kind of doing everything. I still have to get stuff for my kids. And
I said everyone's going to get a Christmas bag.
It's truly one of those years. It's just like when I sit down to go do it, there's like a million other things I have to go end up like doing instead.
I feel like going to Florida the week before Thanksgiving put us all underwater.
It really did, because you weren't planning to like attack the holidays. Usually after Halloween, I am on it and I'm like getting stuff, but I was so like preparing for the Florida trip that I was not focused on the holidays. And all of a sudden I was back and I was a month behind.
It was like we went on vacation and then you're coming back out of vacation fog for the first 3 days. And then it's like Thanksgiving and it's like, bam, it's Christmas. And it was just like, I feel like I didn't have time to adjust my mindset. So I just got my Christmas tree decorated last weekend. It's been up for 2 weeks and I just finally got it decorated. And I was contemplating not doing it at all. Briggs broke one of my ornaments within 5 minutes of it being up. So that's fabulous. And thankfully it was a cheap ornament. But Brian was like, I just want to let you know, while you've been gone, Briggs broke your ornament. And all you can hear in the background is all 4 kids screaming at each other. And I was like, sounds like the babysitting is going well. So
that's funny.
So yes, I feel like it's just been wild since we got back.
Yeah, we actually ended up decorating our tree the day we got back from Florida, but I actually bought a lot of gifts and put my gift or like my Christmas list together when we were on vacation. And then, vacation's supposed to like mellow you out. And then you're like nice and relaxed. And then you get home and you're like, dang, I have so much stuff to do. So between working full time and trying to find time to be a skinny bitch because we're trying to be these keto queens over here, and it's just kind of working out, kind of not. I think we do need to share a little update. I haven't weighed, but just to show the realness of weight loss, maybe we can give an update. But also just like I think getting everybody's suggestions of like what they want, like wrangling that from 15 people is hard. Well, that's
I think the hard part is too,
side.
it's like you almost don't get hammered with all the ads until Black Friday rolls around, right? So then it's like all of a sudden I give you guys a list or I come up with stuff. And then as the holiday season is going on, I keep finding more things that I'm like, oh, I should have put this on my list, but then people are done. So then you're like, oh, I would have liked this better than what I actually told them, but now it's too late and they can't get in time for Christmas and they already bought stuff. And so you're not going to make them like take it back. And so even for my kids, like I put stuff on a list because you're just like making up crap at some point because you can't think of things in the moment. And it's like, and on top of it, they really need nothing. Right. Like, so it's just like, I don't know. It's just kind of a pain.
Well, Phil has been using Tara's Amazon, which I specifically told him not to do because we all use Tara's Amazon, and it was sending me push notifications. And I was like, Phil, I am seeing what I'm getting for Christmas. And then like I had added a bunch of stuff to my list because I get nervous that like my list is getting bought because like mom is really good about like shopping really quickly. And then I know Whitney shops early usually. And so for his
You were okay this year.
parents, I was like, my giftster is probably going to get like pretty wiped. So I usually try, like, I'm not really that person that like buys a bunch of expensive things. So I'm okay with like putting a bunch of little stuff on my list because I don't know. Like you guys are always like, I want new carpet and it's $4,000. I'm like, I don't really have like a one big purchase that I'm just like asking for money. So anyways, I was putting a bunch of little stuff on there, but then I gave Phil like some things I wouldn't send to his parents because they were like more expensive, like a $300 bag. And so I'd already seen like an Amazon notification for one gift. And then I had told him I really want this bag from Pauline Paris, which is like one of my favorite like leather goods makers or whatever overseas. And for whatever reason, it like flagged our debit card because it was like from another country. So we're sitting on the couch on Saturday and then like I get a notification that's like, your card has been flagged from Pauline Paris. I'm like, gosh, dang it. Like I already know like every gift I'm getting. And then Phil's parents are texting me, clarifying all the colors of every single thing I put on my giftster. So I pretty much know everything.
Well, then I texted her and I was like, hey, there's some kind of credit card issue with some stuff. I thought it was her that she bought it, and it was a bunch of because it was a bunch of books. And so I sent her a screenshot of it and she's like, yeah, I think that's Phil's gift to me for Christmas. And I was like,
I was like, cool, those are on my Christmas list. So I pretty much know everything I'm getting for Christmas. And also Phil is normally really good about like listening to things I like and like getting things off my list, which I feel like I literally crushed Christmas this year with Phil, especially. And with you guys, I feel like I do a pretty decent job. Like I got Whitney something kind of funny that like was not on her list, but I feel like I really like try to listen to people and come up with like unique gift ideas based on like things that they said they wanted, or just like I like to show people I know them by getting something that I know that they would like that they didn't ask for. I don't always do that. It's always fun to get things off your list. But anyways,
but it's always fun to get something that's a surprise that you're not expecting that you would like as well.
Yeah. So Phil was like, I was like, Phil, I keep getting push notifications from Amazon. I told you not to use Tara's account. And he goes, who cares? And I was like, I care. I was like, I'm literally like, well, and I get with Vicky and Kevin, like wanting to shop. They could just be asking me questions and deciding which ones they want to buy off of. We're using a website, which this is a fun tip for today's episode, called giftster.com. And you can use the app or you can do the like desktop, and it makes it really easy. It's a free app and you can actually connect both families. So like I can like my list can be visible to like our Huber side and the Lawsons for like, so, and it's connected. So if someone buys it, it shows it's no longer available. So that way you don't have to like share your list and send links and like a shared note and have to decide.
Yeah, it's like a gift registry, which is really nice.
Literally, it's like making a baby or wedding registry, but for Christmas. So it's actually like, and it's great with like y'all's kids because I don't know what people want or like kids want at certain ages. So I feel like I would get something that's like not age appropriate, and like Indy would be like, this is for babies. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have kids in that age range, it's like really overwhelming to be like, what do kids at 5 want or like 6?
Yeah.
Well, even Briley, she was helping me do something with the tree and I forget what she asked me. And I was like, no, I don't have that. And she's like, that's lame. And I was like, since when do you start using the term that's lame?
5-year-olds are just too cool for us.
Oh man, that's so funny.
But I was looking for, I still can't remember if I bought the stupid bubble gun for Briggs. I could have sworn that I did. I thought I bought it through Amazon. It's not in my Amazon orders. So then I was like, maybe I bought it directly. But you know how like you have so many different windows open that I can't remember if I checked out or not. And so I was looking through my Amazon history, and mom uses our Amazon too. So I definitely now know that I'm getting a vanity and a mirror for my half bath. Because it's on my.
Nice. That was a good thing to
I haven't been looking at the
Yeah.
order history because I don't know if mom ordered stuff or Phil. Well, clearly I know Phil did. So I turned off my push notifications from Amazon deliveries. But we have a rule too that like if it's coming from Amazon and this is just in general, if it has my name on it, Phil doesn't open it. If it has his name on it, he doesn't open it. So we specifically don't open each other's packages just
in case.
I don't know. Yeah, like if it was supposed to be a random gift or like whatever. So I didn't think I was going to run into that, but it was just the fact that I kept getting these notices.
Well, so what's weird is I get notifications all the time, like an email or like something's been delivered, but it doesn't tell me what it is unless I go into the email and open it. So I
just
just
had like a photo and a push notification saying like, oh,
see, I don't
this
have push
book had-
notifications.
I have those push
That makes more
notifications.
sense.
Like,
It's
I don't know
actually
if it
really
was
fun, but
Phil or somebody else, but I am getting my towel warmer. So I am very excited. Oh, the moral of the story is that me and mom should get our own Amazons for Christmas because that's really the problem.
Pay for your own Prime account.
okay, what's
Yeah.
your good, Kait?
So my good is that my TikTok for my book talk hit 16,000 followers. So I went up a whole nother 1,200. And I kind of like had some lulls of not posting consistently just because this fall, like I think you had mentioned this on last video, it's just been kind of wild. And this past weekend, I actually decided not to go on this beach trip for my book club because I was like, I feel like I need one, I wasn't sure if I was going to have to work, but two, like, I feel like I need a day to just like sit and stare at a wall. Like, I was so overwhelmed between like retail at the holidays in general is just a lot of pressure. Like, you're really trying to make sure, that you're doing all the right things and getting sales in at this like holiday season time, but then also just like you said, coming home from vacation and trying to like get all the ducks in the row. And I literally had bought like 2 Christmas gifts. So Phil went for a run on Saturday and I sat and like ordered for an hour straight. And then we went to the mall and got some stuff. But so yeah, it's been fun to get back into that. And I've now had 4 different authors in the past like 2 weeks send me like requests for me to read their books, like indie authors.
That's great.
I know. This one guy writes murder mysteries, and then this other woman sent me a message, so I need to respond to her. But I was like, wow, this is so crazy that I'm getting.
Do you
like,
feel like there's
requests.
pressure to like the book then? Or like, how do you, if they offer you the book and then you don't like it, then how do you give like an honest review about it? Like, do you feel like you're going to hurt their feelings?
Yeah, like, well, that's the thing is I feel like if I didn't like it, I probably wouldn't review it because I feel like with a big published author that's like working with, the big wigs, like it wouldn't be as big of a deal if you reviewed it.
Yeah. Like a Colin Hoover, she's going to have both sides of the fence.
Who cares?
But a new guy trying to like make his way up to the top, you could like dash his dreams.
Yeah.
You could. Well, especially Tara's reviews.
Well, and I feel like TikTok really does have so much influence on what people are reading. Like that's been proven. There's literally book talk tables at Barnes and Noble now based on like
it has really like changed the game. And I feel like too, even on Instagram, they're like authors are doing reels about their books. Like they'll do snippets and do like reels to kind of like get you to read their book or like kind of capture your attention. And I think it's cool how it's changed the game.
Yeah, I don't think I'm a big player in the book talk space, but I definitely feel like it's cool to see that I actually have like an audience and a following that like expects me to upload regularly. So that's been really fun. The best videos that I do as far as like best performing is when I make a list and say like, here's 5 books you can read for such and such. So I'm going to do one tonight called Books I Can't Wait to Unhaul because they like made me mad or like I hated. Oh my gosh. I read one last night and I talked about it on Instagram, but it was just like such an eye roll.
I read one too. That was such an eye roll. I'll tell you later.
Yeah. Basically, I don't want to like spoil it in case, or maybe, well, no, yeah, I was going to say you could fast forward 15 seconds, but no, I'll just say it was a thriller from a very, very, very popular thriller author. Like she's like one of the top ones. And she is like really famous for her endings. And sometimes they can be kitschy, but like everyone loves her, etc. This new book was like a book of the month club pick. So it was on the best like Goodreads of the year for thrillers. So I was like really excited. And the ending was just so cheap. Like, I'll tell you what it was, but after
Okay,
I
read
so
this
mad.
I read this like romance that was like a marriage of convenience. So that alone, I was like, oh, intriguing. And it was such an eye roll the whole time. And then the end, it like builds up to this girl having the secret and how she has to like take certain meds and or whatever. And so I was like, oh, like what is the secret? And we get to the end. Like that's the only reason I kept reading it because I was like, ugh. Yeah. And there's like these steamy scenes that I like fully skipped over because I was like, no, this is gross. We get to the end and it was like this huge secret that she was gonna like not stay with this guy for, and it ended up being that she had alopecia.
What?
And I'm like, I'm not like dissing on that like illness or like the situation like that
That just seems like such a
disease,
weird
but
wrap up. Like,
exactly.
okay.
It was so weird. The fact that she was so dramatic about it in the book and was like, oh, I'm not perfect and I have to be perfect if I'm going to be with him. And I was like, okay, like what's going on? To the end, and she has alopecia and she just has
And
to wear
also,
wigs.
like,
I was
how
like,
cheap is it
okay,
that she would assume that a guy wouldn't want to be with her just because she has like a autoimmune disease? Like, that's so
right?
weird to me. Like,
I
what?
know. I was like, and I totally understand like that has to be like super tough. And I'm not like diminishing that at all. But the way that she made it so dramatic in this book, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
Right.
Like, yes, I totally understand that that's got to be difficult. But the fact that she was like, no, I cannot be with the love of my life and I cannot divulge this information to him. And I was like, give him a little bit more credit. Anyways, the book, I'm not going to tell you what the book was, but definitely don't read it.
Okay, so we are going to jump right into all things Christmas. So I have a couple of questions, and then I'm going to have you guys help me suggest some things to our listeners since this will be going up this Wednesday, which realistically people have like 10 days left to shop at that point. So might be something they could find in store or order on Amazon if they're getting to like the cutoff of being able to get this before Christmas. So my first question for you is, what is your favorite Christmas memory? Don't answer all at once.
I was trying to think.
I'm trying to think of it.
Okay, I'll tell mine and then you guys can tell yours. So this is actually just a really funny, like not necessarily my favorite ever, but just a funny memory. We used to have this really pretty great room in our old house, which like back in the day, like not every room had TVs in it. So it was like the Christmas room and then like the room mom used to take naps in. It was like a sitting room, but I remember that room always being really dreamy at Christmas. And so I would spend more time playing in there just because like all the presents were there and stuff. And Whitney was very devious and told me that she thinks we are getting boom boxes for Christmas because that was what we had asked for. I think I was like 8 years old. You know this story.
Oh gosh.
And so Whitney was like convinced based on the shape of one of the things under the tree. Like our parents didn't really like try to fool us. Like if it was like a guitar, it was like pretty obvious it was a guitar. But so she ended up poking a hole in one of the presents.
What's funny is I remember like wanting to know what was in there, but I don't remember poking a hole in it.
And we looked, and it was
That's
indeed
so funny.
boxes.
And mom and dad found out about it. Dad was like, you will not do that, and was like threatening to take them away, and they ended up hiding them.
Yeah, so he took away the boom boxes and he was like, because you guys couldn't wait and you were impatient, like you're gonna learn your lesson. Now you're not gonna get your boom box. And this little stinker waited until we opened every single gift on Christmas, and then at the very end he brought out boom boxes. And then we each got them. But I did learn a very important lesson that day was to have more patience. But we were like kind of psychotic about boomboxes that year. Like I just remember thinking like if I didn't get a boombox, I was just going to be like so disappointed in Christmas.
Yeah, it was kind of the age where you're just like
desperate to
so
open
desperate.
gifts.
My favorite memory actually was when we were younger. When dad still worked for the dealership, that they had, for whatever reason, they had like these points that they got kind of almost like his Amex points. And so that he had like a catalog of all these different ones that he could redeem. And I just remember like he like redeemed them all. And we woke up on Christmas morning and there was just stuff everywhere. Do you remember this when we got those like big red sleeping bags that like combined together?
Well, actually, that was the one that I was going to talk about because Was it the night before we like fell asleep in the living room? And we were watching movies and it was like snowing outside and it casted like a pink hue.
I have a memory of us all laying in the family room. Yeah.
We opened the stockings and it was stuffed full of candy. And that was the year I got my sleeping bag that I got like my toe stuck to.
Yeah. Well, and this one was like, you could zip them together. So it'd make like a big, almost like a queen size bed. Yeah. It was like really, I've never seen that again, but what we also got that year was a racetrack. And we spent there, we had like a TV room in like the back of the house and we spent hours. I just remember like we put it together and Dad and I spent hours laying on the floor playing this racetrack, which was such a funny gift for girls because you wouldn't think like, but we had so much fun with that thing. Like so that was one of my favorite memories. I just remember like laying on the floor and playing.
It was very magical. It was a very magical Christmas. It just felt like very peaceful.
Yeah, it did. And so, yeah, that's probably one of my favorites when I think back.
We have a home video, which is so funny because Brecken did this a couple years ago, but there's a home video and I'm 3 or 4. Whitney's like 6 or 7 and Tara's like 10 or 11. Like, I don't know exactly what the stair step is of us, but where Whitney decided to like make art as gifts and made this like booklet that was just like stapled so much and Tara's trying to open it and she's like and staples are just like flying everywhere and you could tell Tara's just like trying to be nice but really not amused. And what's hilarious about it is Whitney is so confident in her gift that she like crushed it with this gift. Tara's like, wow, thanks, Whit. And Whit's like, you're welcome. Like so smug. Like, yeah, I crushed it. This gift is awesome.
I literally don't remember this. You have such a good memory.
Well, do you remember
I only
the year that
know
you gave...
it because it was like in the home video because I was too little to probably actually remember it.
Like Calvary had the little like store where kids could go buy stuff and you got Dad the coffee mug with
that store every year to get Dad a mug with golf balls every year.
But at least that was useful. Like at least he actually would use the teas. Like that's probably the best thing I could have gotten.
I spent 50 cents and got you this mug.
And I saved up my cash and bought him that Disney sweater. Do you remember the one where like it's like Goofy trying to like Mickey trying to hit a ball out of the sand?
Yeah, but I actually remember him wearing that.
But why?
What's
like,
funny
why
is we had Spirit Week at school.
I just time saw it. You wore it to school.
It was called Tacky Tourist Day, and I wore that so much.
But like, why would I think that Dad would want a Mickey sweater? Like, why?
I don't know, but he definitely wore it.
He did wear it, but probably just to be nice to not hurt my feelings.
I was gonna say, I think that's gonna be a fun age because your kids are kind of all coming into those ages now where they'll like buy you gifts or like your husbands will take them to go get you something, and that might be kind of fun to see. Like, it'll be me
taking my kids to get Brian something. He will never think to take them to get me something.
Well, maybe I was gonna say, but I would be like so tickled to like see what my kids or your kids would pick out for you, like. Because I think it like I remember I think I've said this on the podcast before, but we used to watch Touched by an Angel as a family and I got Mom the Touched by an Angel book and then like a couple months later I saw it in a donate pile. And I was like, Mom, like, did you read it already? Or like, why is this in this pile?
She's like, I already read it. I don't need to do
it. And honestly, she might have, but like her face like was just like she like knew she got caught, like keeping it away, which was so funny. But like, how could you not as a parent? Like your kids like are always making you pictures and like there's all those funny TikToks of parents like throwing away their kids' art like from school when they're sleeping. That's literally what it is. Because at the time, I thought I was buying really valuable things, but we were just getting them junk, basically. Yeah. So, okay, what is your what is your favorite Christmas tradition?
I love doing Christmas cookies. And then recently, I've been having my kids like decorate them. And I think it's just the age, but you can see how much they absolutely love it. And especially Cheech, she loves adding like sprinkles and like eating the frosting and obviously it's not about what they look like and then it's more about like the process, but they've been loving it. And then also we've been getting pre-made gingerbread houses at Target each year, and each kid gets to, well, this year I only bought 2, but each kid gets to decorate them, so that's been kind of fun that we've been like throwing
those things make me angry because I can't get them to stay up. It drives me nuts.
Well, they're pre-made. The ones I got.
They're pre-made.
So you're just
so-
decorating on once they're already put together.
Yeah,
That's
that's
actually kind of
nice.
nice.
Yeah, actually, big tip. I got that, a big pro tip. I got that from Taylor Sanders. Shout out Taylor Sanders. They do like a massive like gingerbread decorating thing each year, and they bought the pre-made ones. And she's like, "Girl, you got to get the pre-made ones." I was like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even know they had those."
Yeah, because you spend half the time just trying to get the whole thing
Oh
to
my
stand
gosh,
up.
makes me so angry.
Right.
I like almost went into like an anxiety attack one year trying to put it together. It just kept falling apart, and I just like melted down. I was like, I can't do this.
It's so
So
annoying.
funny.
So yeah, pre-made ones are where it's at.
We've been the last couple years we've been getting matching family pajamas, and then we go get like hot chocolate or ice cream, and we take the kids and we drive around and see the lights. And so we've done that the last couple of years, and that's something that they look forward to.
Actually, Isaac and I just did that with the kids the other night. We weren't in matching PJs, which by the way, if you had told me like 15 years ago that you would be the one to match your kids in matching PJs and take them around to the Christmas lights, the Christmas lights doesn't shock me, but the matching PJs is hilarious.
Yes.
But Isaac and I did that the other day. We went to get peppermint ice cream at a local like ice cream place, and then we went and drove through like Uptown Normal to see the lights, and then we went to like all the houses we know that like do crazy lights, and it was so fun.
Yeah, actually, we tried to get peppermint ice cream last night to watch the Santa Claus, and Phil went to 3 grocery stores and like
can't
asked
find it.
managers, and they were like, "Oh, we're getting more tomorrow, but it keeps selling out really fast." I'm like, Brentwood, like the suburban moms, they just don't play around, because when pumpkin spice came out, it was like impossible. I ended up having like a pro tip from a blogger being like, Aldi, like look at Aldi, and I never think to like shop at Aldi. So
maybe they have
I
your
ended up
peppermint ice cream.
Yeah,
I know.
Suburban moms don't go to Aldi.
They must not. But I was like, Brentwood moms are like serious about all of the holiday like stuff, because I can never get the flavor, like the holiday flavors of anything. But
I couldn't believe how wiped things were. So
yeah, the same thing happens here. We went to like 3 or 4 different places to find peppermint ice cream. We were going to the grocery store.
Almond bark was out at Walmart.
Stuff gets wiped so fast.
what's happening to us?
But no, I had gotten 2 weeks ago, I had gotten some new decorations for the tree from Hobby Lobby, and I took them back because I was gonna like, I'll do red, green, and white this year. And then I got the tree up and I was like, no, I'm gonna keep with my red and white. And so I decided to take the stuff back, but I was like, there's a few more that I want of like this one thing. And all of that, you know, like the things you just like stick in the tree that aren't ornaments.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a filler
Like
or whatever.
floral,
They're like
yeah.
twigs. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was gonna get a couple more of those because I only grabbed 4. The entire aisle was like wiped out.
That's
Like, there was like nothing
crazy.
left.
I have a
Like,
funny story, and then I need to tell you my favorite Christmas tradition, but I don't know if I told you guys this, but at Thanksgiving, Libby had texted me after we were done with our TikTok video, and she's like, "What time are you getting back, like, to run errands?" Because we had told Vicky we were going to cook dinner. So we were going to go grocery shopping at like 3:30 or 4 or whatever, get all the groceries, and us 3 girls were going to cook so Vicky could, it was the day after Thanksgiving, so she could take a break. And I kind of like forgot it was Black Friday, but didn't at the same time, you know, it was kind of like in the back of your mind. But she had called Hobby Lobby to get black craft paper to wrap gifts, because Libby always has like a really cool like aesthetic. So this year it's black craft paper with like really pretty dark green velvet ribbon. So she always has like a theme every year. Actually, Whitney kind of does this too, where she like, and it's always like really trendy and cute. So she had called Hobby Lobby when I had told her I was going to be back around 3:30, which we ended up going to the Dollar Tree. So it ended up being like 4:30. So half of this is my fault, but it's so funny. Anyway, she calls the Hobby Lobby, and this woman answers. I won't say her name, but she was like, "Hi, I was wondering if you guys had any black paper in stock, like craft paper." And she's like, "Honey, it's Christmas. Nobody's buying black wrapping paper." And Libby was,
Oh my gosh.
and Libby was like, "Oh, okay. So like, do you have enough of it? Like, I probably want to buy 2 rolls." And she was like, "Yeah." And Libby was like, "Oh, okay. Do you want to put it on hold for me, or do you think that I can come grab it?" And she was like, "I will try."
Oh
And
gosh.
yeah, like being super like what's the word, I'm like short with her.
Snippy.
So then Libby was like, "Okay, well, no problem. We're probably going to be there in 10 or 15 minutes, because we were going to like run errands while we were getting the groceries." Anyways, to make a really long story short, we get to Hobby Lobby at like maybe 4:30 or 5, somewhere around there. And we go to the section, and where the black wrapping paper would be, it was gone, because it's in like it's not in the normal like wrapping paper section. And so there's like a woman in the aisle, and we're like, hey, Abby was like, do you guys have any black wrapping paper? And Libby was like, I actually called a few hours ago. And she was like, yeah, that was me. And she was like, she's like, I put it up front, and you said you were going to be here in 10 minutes. And she looks at her watch and she goes, and it's been 2 hours. And Libby was like, oh, okay. And like Libby was like, instantly, I was like, I felt like I needed to explain myself. Like, well, Kait said she was going to be here in 10 minutes, and she had to go to the Dollar Tree. And we're like spiraling, like like she was being like blatantly like so rude. And we were like laughing, but also we were like, is she really like mad that I think it was just like a combo. It's like Black Friday. And so we were trying to figure out. So she said that she physically ran to the front of the store with Libby's like black wrapping paper.
Well, first of all, how sweet of her.
So
well, not so sweet, because she was rude from the start. Yeah. So we ended up finding it at the front. We had to talk to like the customer service managers, and they had them. And so I was just dying laughing, because Libby was like, okay, well, thanks. And like, we just walked away, and I was like, it's hard because the Midwest side of you wants to like apologize all over the place or explain why you weren't there in 10 minutes, when in reality this lady was just being like bogus, like so rude. Oh my gosh, we were dying laughing, and we got home and we're like, we can't believe that just happened. But anyways,
oh my gosh, I was going to tell you really quick. So everything has been wiped out. Well, this year I keep seeing people putting tinsel on their tree, and I'm like, that looks so cool.
There's always like one big trend every year.
Yeah,
that's definitely. And like disco balls at the bottom.
Yeah,
of the
disco
tree.
balls is another one. Chi has disco balls on her tree, but I wanted to do like silver tinsel on our tree. I was like, that would be really cool, because I usually do pretty simple trees. And so my husband goes to the grocery store every single day. And it's never the same one. It's always all over, wherever he's closest to, and whatever one's cheaper. So every time he goes out, he's like, hey, do you need anything? I was like, yeah. And I send him this list I have in my phone, and tinsel has been on my list. I put tinsel on the top of my list. I sent it to him, and he's like, comes back, and I was like, oh, they didn't have any tinsel. And he's like, no, they're all wiped out. Next day, he asked me to send him a list. I send him my list. He comes back, and he's like, they don't have any tinsel. And I was like, oh, shoot, it must be out everywhere. Next day, he goes out again. He comes back, no tinsel. And he's like, they don't have any tinsel. Like, it's nowhere to be found. And he's like, do you want tinsel garland? I was like, no, I want tinsel. I just want like tinsel. This goes on, I kid you not, at least 7 times. Isaac finally comes back, and he's like, they don't have any tinsel. I go every single time to that place. They don't have any tinsel anywhere. I cannot find it. You're going to have to go onto Amazon and find it somewhere else. Like, literally, he's like, every single time, he's like cracking up now. He's like, I go to the Christmas section every single time, and I'm so sick of going over there. Can you just buy it online?
You're like, thanks for giving me permission. Yes, I will.
What's funny is like, I forgot it was on the list, but every single day he goes and checks for it. And it's like gone.
That's funny. Yeah, actually, every day Abby did like a full tinsel tree with like little, what are they called? Disco balls at the bottom. And it looked really cute. Like, she has this massive new lake house that they've been building for like 2 years, and I just want to move into it. I don't know if you've seen her Instagram.
It's insane. So pretty.
It's gorgeous. Anyways, okay, so my favorite tradition, we're still on our first question.
No, we did favorite memory.
That's right.
We're on number 2.
So Phil and I, every year, obviously we don't have kids yet, but we like do a special Christmas date of some sort. And so we'll do like a fancy dinner, and then we come home and we like open stockings first, and then open our gifts. And last year we did the symphony. And this year we went to the Home Alone Symphony with his parents and my brother-in-law and sister-in-law and our friend. So we haven't like officially planned what we're going to do, but I think we're going to do it this either Saturday or Sunday night. And that's always just like super fun to get our gifts out of the way, just because we typically don't get to like spend Christmas in our own house. I've kind of wondered too, like when that's ever going to change, if I'm ever going to like have to make a switch, you know what I mean? Like when you don't live near your family, like, is there ever like a trade-off where you're not traveling for holidays? Because I've only gotten to do Thanksgiving in my own house twice, and I've never been in my own house for Christmas.
I think it changes once the extended family stops.
Mm-hmm. Well, and even then, like, even we're in town, and so we'll do our like family Christmas Eve, then Christmas Day we have Isaac's family to go to, then we have Aunt Kara, and then we have Isaac's intermediate, like our actual like Isaac's mom and dad. So like, even if you are in town, you still have a million Christmases to go to.
I think that's the hard part too, is because we're so close to all of our family on both sides, so it's not really like we want to cut something out, but I don't know how to like ever make traditions where my kids are not in a car on Christmas. Like, I feel like that's going to be such a weird like transition where they don't get to ever like wake up in their own house and open gifts, like see if Santa came and ate the cookies. Like Phil was saying that his dad would eat the cookies every year and then write them a note. That was so cute. I was like, what about the carrots? He's like, he ate those too. I was like, he could have just thrown them away. But I was like, that's just really like fun and cool to like have your own traditions with your own kids. But the other thing I was going to say is our grandma was known for baking. And just last year we started doing a bread day with my mom helping us making the dough. And this year there's 5 of us, including me and my mom. So 3 of my friends. Well, actually one of them's Hillary, our cousin, the one that we like to feature on every episode of this podcast. I texted her the episode last week and I was like, just in case you need some listening material. And she was like, I'm gonna go to the gym and listen to it now. Hilarious. So her, and then our friend Britt, and then my friend Rachel is in town from California. So it's us and mom. But
that's fun.
We are making sausage bread and then either cinnamon or orange, which I think will be really fun. Orange rolls are my favorite.
It is fun.
Yeah.
I know Isaac said that he always like around this time, he like really is jonesing for like sausage bread, and like, he really loves the orange rolls. And I'm like, oh yeah, I should do like a yeast baking day, like a bread day.
I was going to do so it's not as good, but it's really close. Pillsbury has a box dough bread that you can do like a starter. And it makes 2 loaves. You split them in half. It makes 2, and then literally it rises for 45 minutes, and then you roll it out and start making it.
I always feel like it's okay to use it because grandma's the one that told me about it. And so I always feel like if it was like grandma approved, I'm the one that told you and Britt about it.
Yeah, we used it.
They went to go get the Rhodes dough, and they realized that it was frozen, so that they were going to be like at least a good 12 hours in before they could use it. And I was like, we'll just do the Pillsbury, and it worked fine, right?
Yeah, honestly, like it's hard to tell a difference between the two. Like it tastes really similar. And obviously the best part of the dough and like is like the filling and like what you're putting in it. So like sausage bread's going to be good regardless of what dough you're using.
Yeah.
But I was telling mom and she was like, no, I mean, like I'll just get up at 5 and make it. And I'm like, no, mom, you're not going to get up at 5. That's what she did last year. And last year, I think there was like 5 or 6 of us. There might've been 6 or 7. So it was like too many people to like all get to take home multiple variations, where this year if there's only like 3 of them and me and mom, like everyone could at least fill them and then bake them at home. Like we could let them rise and then they could take them home at least, so it's not like a full day thing. But last year I prepped all the sausage filling the night before and it took me like 4 hours. Okay, next question is, what's your favorite Christmas song?
See, I don't like Christmas songs, so I don't have one.
I don't know. What's the one Sky did?
Oh, Holy Night.
Yeah, I like that one.
Well, I think there's a difference between like secular and then like Christmas hymns. So my favorite Christmas song that's like a secular like pop song or popular whatever is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas from Judy Garland.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, that is like the dreamiest song ever. And then Christmas hymn is The First Noel.
So I would say Oh Holy Night. I would be with you if I had to choose one. And then I do like the Pentatonics Christmas album, like they did a couple years ago.
Yeah. Did you know they did a Christmas special on Disney Plus?
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
I need to watch that. Yeah,
you guys, cheesy, but it's cute.
Yeah,
there's Beauty and the Beast is doing a 30th. I'm sorry, I don't know what just happened. A 30th year anniversary special on Thursday on ABC. I just heard about this, and the artist she's gonna be Belle, and then
cool.
Josh Groban is the Beast.
That's
And then
hilarious.
Shania Twain is Mrs. Potts. Like, it's just
Okay.
like so star-studded. I'm like so excited. I literally recorded it and I never watch anything on live TV. I'm like so pumped about it.
That is fun.
So in case you guys need anything to do, this episode's coming out on Wednesday and it's happening Thursday. So you'll still have time to set your DVR.
Well, I've been
Okay.
watching lots of Christmas movies. And somebody,
right. You said that.
somebody on the live yesterday suggested Noel Diary, and that's actually really cute. It's the one with Justin Hartley.
Oh, the one that you wished he would take his shirt off.
I did wish, but he did wear some tight t-shirts in it, so it was fine.
Okay, so one year I was working when we were still working for the company Dad sold to. So we were still working for them. I was watching Christmas movies in the background as I was working on my computer. And there was a movie that came on that was like Melissa Hart. Oh, no, wait, shoot.
Jodie
Melissa Joan
Sweetin.
Hart?
No, wait, who was
Melissa Joan Hart?
Who was
Jodie Sweetin.
Judith?
Judith
Sweetin. No, who was the girl who played this Sabrina
Teen Witch.
Teenage Witch?
Melissa Joan
Joan
Hart.
Hart.
Okay. It was her and Mario Lopez. Do you know which one I'm
Okay,
talking
so
about?
weird.
No,
I know.
that's
First
random.
of all, like
That's
so
my thing.
unbelievable their
Yes.
love story.
Okay, that's my thing with Hallmark movies. That's what I was saying last night with
Yes.
Jodie Sweetin. She was with like some other dude that's like a Hallmark guy. He's on a lot of the things. And I was like, I don't believe their love. It's so weird.
So she is like working in a diner and she's like this disappointment to her family. I actually really liked the movie, but their love was so cringy. I was like, I
Yeah.
don't believe that you fell in love. But she basically, he's like this like rich, like whatever. And he comes in and she kidnaps him. I think it's called like Christmas in Handcuffs or something like that. She kidnaps him. I mean, very innocently, because like it's a Hallmark movie, to take him home to her parents, like mountain snowy Colorado home, whatever.
They get snowed in.
Yeah. And like, of
Uh-huh.
course, there's no cell service. So he can't
Uh-huh,
call
of course.
anyone to tell him he's like kidnapped. And she like threatens to like expose him if he like says anything to her family because he did something like bad. I don't know what, but basically he's like, I can't remember. But of course they fall in love and yada yada. But I was just like, this is the weirdest pairing, like Mario Lopez
So
and the
weird.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Like it just didn't fit.
Okay, so here's a pairing that I thought was odd. So in addition, so after I got finished with Noel Diary, it suggested other Justin Hartley ones, and he's in a movie called Senior Year. Have you heard of this one?
No.
So
I
it's-
have not done like a deep dive into Christmas movies this year, and I feel like I'm
so
very
well, this
behind.
one isn't a Christmas movie. It just happens to be a movie that came out this year. It's with Rebel
Oh.
Wilson,
Okay.
Oh,
which it like it
Oh, yeah,
throws you
no.
off a little bit because she well, she's lost all this weight, so she
Yeah.
looks different.
yeah.
And then she's the premise of the movie is that she was a cheer, like the cheer captain of the high school cheerleading squad,
Yeah,
and
like,
she
goes into a coma, right?
goes into a coma for 20 years and then she comes out of it.
And she
Whoa.
still thinks she's like a senior.
She still thinks she's 17, so she goes back and finishes her senior year.
Is this like a recent movie?
Yeah,
Came
it
out
just
this
came
year.
out this year sometime.
Is this so this is when like post weight loss?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Justin Hartley is technically like who she dated in high school, now older. Like it's just, and
Oh.
it's a weird dynamic to see those
It's like
two,
13 going on 30, but in a
kind of.
different-
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of
Okay,
weight
back
loss,
to Chris.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, did you see that girl on TikTok that went viral because she's getting a skin removal surgery?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's so sweet. I have to send it to you. She was 650 pounds and
Wow.
lost 420
my.
pounds on her own. Like she like just
What?
dieted and exercised. She didn't get a weight loss surgery, but she
Good
just
for
got an abdominoplasty. Is that what it's called when you get like all the skin removed?
Well,
And
abdominoplasty is a tummy tuck, but usually I think skin
Basically.
removal surgery is different, something different.
well,
But anyway,
so
go
they
ahead.
did the lipo, kind of similar to what you had, like the flanks and the lipo and like all
Yeah.
the things. And they took off 47 pounds of skin.
I'm not
Wow.
surprised. In
Isn't
those
that
situations. Yeah.
insane? She
I mean,
was
good
like
for
sobbing.
her though. That's insane. That's amazing.
I know.
Because-
I want to show it to you because, well, not right this second.
Well,
I'll
just
send
like-
it to you.
Think about like how disheartening it is, like feeling like I am 650 pounds. I know how long this is going to take. It would just feel overwhelming
I
and just
know.
really dooming
To really
from the start.
stick with it. Yeah.
I mean, it feels dooming from the start for me, and I don't
Mhm.
have that much to lose, obviously, like as much as her, clearly,
Right.
but like that would feel so just overwhelming, and the whole process, because it's so difficult. So that is like, I really respect that.
Yeah, I agree. I know. Anyways, what we're gonna say? My next question.
Oh, back to Christmas movies. My favorite one that I've ever watched. It was on Hallmark, and it was so cute. And now it is a Hallmark movie, so it's not going to be like amazing, like the best movie you ever watched. But if it's a really cute Christmas movie, it's Love at the Thanksgiving Day Parade, and it is not like Thanksgiving-ish, but it was really cute because it was this girl that was curating the Thanksgiving Day Parade, and she was like teaching this guy the ins and outs of it, and those two end up falling in love, and she's just like really quirky and cute, but I believed their love. It was just really cute. It was one of my favorites, and I haven't seen it lately because it's like kind of an older one. They seem to like want to play the newer ones, but that one was super cute. If you want just like a super cute, believable love story, that one's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know we talked about the Candace Cameron ones, but there was one, wasn't there one where she like lost her memory and she got like, is that her or was that someone else, where she's like stuck in their, of course, Colorado cabin in the woods where it's snowing?
Well,
It's
Lindsay
always
Lohan,
Colorado.
Lindsay Lohan is the one where she lost her memory.
Yeah, I know, but there's a Hallmark one. I thought it was a Candace Cameron one, but maybe I'm wrong.
There's a Candace Cameron one where she basically does time travel.
Yeah, where she
like the shoe one.
The shoe one.
Yeah. There's another one where
that was probably her best one that she's done.
I can't think of another one where she lost her memory.
There was like a time where me and my friends used to do like hangs where we'd watch premieres of like Candace Cameron, or not just specifically her, but like certain Hallmark movies. And I haven't like been really up on the Hallmark this year. I feel like I did pretty good last year with it, but I just watched The Santa Claus for the first time last night. And you guys saw my panic when Phil was watching Home Alone without me. It's like, are you kidding me? You're watching Home Alone 2 without me?
You sounded so betrayed.
I know, I was like, he was like, I was dozing in and out. Who cares? It was on TV. And I was like, I care. Like, Christmas is a big deal to me. Okay, what is one of the most epic Christmas gifts you have ever given?
Given?
Yeah.
Well, I think when I did you guys 2 years ago, where I gave you one gift per month, or I bought one gift per month and then gave them to you all at Christmas, I feel like that one's gonna be
pretty
hard for
epic.
Me to top.
That was good for another 5 years.
You wrapped it in the paper that was like themed of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that one actually made me go viral on TikTok. But that one was fun to do because I felt like it took the stress out of it, because instead of having to like panic buy in November, it spread it out throughout the entire year. So it gave me time to like watch different influencers of what they were talking about or different things, and then buy you guys accordingly. So it would be fun to do that again, because it was just fun to set aside. The only downfall is that you can't return the stuff typically. So I was
but it wasn't really like closed. Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, most of it wasn't closed, but I was trying to stay away from stuff like that just in case it didn't fit. So I still have
Tara bought us the friends pajamas in XL, and Whitney had lost like 70 pounds. Yes. And she's like, this doesn't.
I bought it in February, and so by December they were way too big.
I was like, I had to like string them so tight, and I was like, do you want these? Because I can't fit into them, and that's okay.
Okay. Yeah. What's the most epic gift you've ever given?
I gave Isaac a Dyson one year. That was pretty expensive. And then the year that I got pregnant with Riv, we announced it at Christmas to Dad and to Isaac's parents. And that was fun. That was probably the most like quote unquote epic. But yeah,
that was cute.
Speaking of the Dyson, was it Father's Day or his birthday? You got him like I told you to get him the attachments for the car attachments for the Dyson. He was talking to Brian. Brian said something about how he had gotten them, and he was like, "Whit got me those too. I don't know why she thinks I want cleaning tools."
Oh my gosh,
Father's Day, and I was like,
"Such
sorry,
a liar."
That was my idea.
Okay, first of all, we don't really like exchange gifts anymore, because we've got like stuff to pay off, and like we're buying stuff.
Always something.
Yeah, there's always something. So like, if we do buy something, it's usually something that we need.
Yeah, it's like practical.
So even like this year, for the stuff that I asked for Christmas was like a carpet and like upholstery cleaner, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I'm glad you asked your my mom for that." So like, I think maybe, I don't know if she bought me this, but I asked Isaac's mom for that, and then for my mom, I asked for new like knives,
Mhm.
and he was like commending me, but they were gifts for me. And I'm pretty sure he gave his mom a full list of like shoes and clothes and like stuff that he actually wants. So it's like, if I get it, it's fine. But if he gets it, then it's an issue.
See,
So
Phil like
it's a double
likes,
standard.
yeah, Phil likes Christmas, the things leading up to it, but he could take Christmas Day, like take it or leave it, like everything that comes with it, like the
Brian's the
presents,
same
the
way.
stress, like he's just kind of like the fact that I already know what all that I'm getting makes me sad. And he literally is like, who gives a rip? Like he just does not care.
Brian
And
hates
then
the
like,
season altogether. He
yeah,
doesn't
like
like
when
it.
I was saying that you guys, we'd said again, like that the husbands are not going to exchange gifts. He's like, perfect. Like he just like didn't care. Like it was like,
That's how
fine.
Isaac
Like
is too.
I don't
He's
need
like,
the
"I'm
gifts,
good."
like whatever. And I was like, I actually used to really love shopping for Isaac because I would buy him like a new wardrobe every year. And Isaac would just keep opening like all
Oh,
these
yeah.
shirts.
He loves it. Let me just preface this. I feel
Mhm.
like he loves receiving gifts,
Yeah.
and he loves getting new clothes. He loves getting new shoes. Like shoes are his thing. So he is fun to buy for, because you know, like what if
He
like
gets
what you do by
excited about
him,
gifts.
he'll
Yeah.
like.
Right.
But it's just a matter of like the stress of money going into it, that he's just like, no, don't get me anything. I'm not going to get you anything. And then if you ask for anything, ask for money. And he's like, because we got to pay for all of this. I'm like, oh gosh.
Yeah, Brian's fun to buy for, but he's not fun to watch open gifts. It's almost like it would be better if I just hung it in his closet and let him find it occasionally, because he like is such a horrible gift receiver that like his initial reaction is like, I just remember our very first Christmas together, I had like gone hog wild and got him all kinds of stuff, because it was like the first time I had someone to like buy stuff for. I got him like 15 presents, little things, whatever. And before he'd even opened them, he had like separated them off into piles and was like, okay, here's stuff you can take back. And I was like, you don't even know what's inside. Like he was just like, it's too much. Like and I was just like, you've got to be freaking kidding me.
Here's stuff you can take back.
Yeah.
He's just so
You're just
practical.
yeah.
Like
He
such
just
a
was like,
practical.
it's just too much.
See,
It takes all kinds,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everybody has their strengths, and then
So you know what he's
everybody
getting
has
for Christmas this year? A Carhartt beanie. That's it. Because he said he wanted one and I ordered him one. It was $20. So that's what he's getting.
Yeah,
There you
I didn't
go.
get
I
Isaac
mean,
anything. We're not going to exchange gifts.
He doesn't
see,
know I got
Phil always says no matter what he puts on his list, he'll be like, well, I could just use drum stuff, but drum equipment is like $5,000. So he'll be like, well, I really need money towards this. I'm like, even if my parents hand you a couple $100s, you can't even buy it. Like it's not even like worth it. So just ask for other stuff that you want or need, because it's never going to be enough money for you to actually take that Christmas money and make it a drum studio purchase. So in my mind, it's like dumb that he's always saying like, well, I could just use that to get drum stuff. I'm like, you're not going to take $300 and set it aside to buy, like, you just won't. Like, I don't know. So to me, I'm like, it's kind of stupid. So one year, a couple different years, he's given mom and dad like stuff that's actually like within their budget. That's like a drum related thing. But the last 2 years I bought him microphones that he was like super excited about. But I'm trying to think, this isn't necessarily a gift I've given, but one of the coolest experiences of gifts I've been around was Kevin found his old jazz band drum set from high school. He like tracked down the person that he played jazz band drums in high school, and he like tracked down the guy whose grandma had it in her attic. Like it was so random, like how he ended up finding it, and he refurbished it and then gifted it to Phil.
That's so
And
cool.
it's like a Slingerland set, I think it's like a vintage 1960s like Slingerland, and it's really cool, and it still has like the drum head on it that says like his jazz band and stuff. So that was actually really cool because they wrapped Kevin's yearbook. That's like what Phil opened, and then it was like tabbed, and
That's
then
really cute.
yeah, it was really cool. And then they went in the basement, and the drum set was set up for Phil to like discover and see. So he actually uses it too, like in the studio, which is fun.
That's really cute. I love that.
I know. What's the most epic gift you've ever received?
Yeah, probably Tara's epic
Yeah.
gift that she gave us. Also Isaac replaced my wedding band on our 5-year anniversary because it was missing diamonds. This one now is losing diamonds too. But maybe he'll have to replace this on our 15-year anniversary.
There you go.
But yeah, he gave me this. I wasn't necessarily expecting it. I was just hoping that he would, and he did, and that one was
That's
pretty
sweet.
rad.
Okay, so this counts for like guys, girl, like moms, dads, sisters, or kids. What are some of your best gift ideas of the year? Doesn't have to necessarily be something you bought. It could just be something you saw and you're like, that's an amazing idea.
So Chi-Chi is really into like figurines and like play and like independent play, and we got her some Polly Pockets.
Aww, that's cute.
Isaac found a llama one.
I don't feel like I have any amazing gifts this year. I don't feel like I found anything like over the top. I did get Dad a comfy. Have you seen those on?
Oh my gosh. You always get Dad the most random stuff every year. It's so funny.
It's a hooded sweatshirt that's like velour. So it's basically like blanket material, so that like when he sits outside he can it's basically like a sweatshirt version of this blanket.
I'm gonna be curious if he actually uses that. Like, I'm
probably not, but
watch him, he probably will.
Well, who knows?
It's kind of like wearing a blanket because then your arms are covered.
Yeah, it's like a poncho almost, but like a massive sweatshirt. Yeah.
And so I got him that, which I had seen it on Sarah Knuth and Holly Woodard when they went to New York. They gifted them like a tie-dye one, so I got him like a navy blue one of those. But
okay,
I feel like my best idea for Dad recently was that little mini fridge.
Yeah,
because he uses that all the time.
I was gonna say, speaking of dads or just people in general that love golf, I got served an Instagram ad last night and I haven't bought it yet, but I want to. It's a magnetic golf towel.
Oh yeah,
Have you
been
seen
getting that for like a year.
It's
like,
called
I don't play golf.
It's called like Golf Ghost, or Ghost Golf is the brand. And like you can throw it on the ground, and then like if you went and like reached for it with a club, it would magnetize to your thing. And then if you wanted to throw it towards your golf bag, it would stick to your club, so you can drive away without like having to make sure it's like stuffed in.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's actually a pretty genius idea. I'm sure Dad has one, but I've never heard him talk about it. So I was thinking about ordering that. It comes in a 2-pack for like $50.
I had seen one that it's like a pad that's like this big.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? And
it's
like sequins.
Yeah, it's like kind of sequence, so you can see where you're hitting. So
but I didn't know if he would actually use it or not, because I'm like, you can use it at home, but I was like, I feel like he has so many gadgets. I don't know if he would like that.
That's exactly what I was thinking, and I was like, he probably doesn't need this, but I thought it was an interesting thing.
I don't think that Kevin listens to this podcast, so I'll share this anyways, but this is what we got for Phil's dad. It's a little bit expensive, so it's kind of like an investment if you do buy from them, but Nordstrom just started carrying Russell Wilson, the football player's like new clothing line. It's called Good Man brand, and it's made for guys that like have broader shoulders or just like feel like a little bulkier, feel like everything's like kind of tight. And so everything is like specifically like more not as like casual athleisure. So it's all made of like really stretchy fabric and like really soft and comfortable. I sent you guys that picture of the jacket because I was like, would Dad wear this? Which I kind of feel like Dad would, but Mom was like, I don't know. It's kind of like risky.
What's like the price range? Because I feel like that would be interesting for Isaac, because Isaac is, I don't know if since he's gotten older or whatever, but his shoulders are massive.
Yeah,
He's
it's like the jacket was like $220, so it's not like it's not cheap. And like Kevin's birthday is also on. Oh wait, is it today? Oh no, oh my gosh, I just got so I was like, whoa, I've already texted him today and didn't say happy birthday. His birthday's on the 15th, so he also like we have to like do Christmas birthday at the same time, so we kind of like bulk up on gifts and stuff and then just like give it all to him around this time. But that was like a really cool idea, because again, dads are so hard to buy for, and I feel like if Kevin isn't really that hard to buy for, but our dad is like kind of one of those people that like they get what they want for themselves. It's like he only has
nothing.
Like so many hobbies.
They don't need anything.
He has one.
Well, he has golf and then smoking cigars, and I would
reading,
never.
But his reading is like very specific.
Yeah, he reads on his phone from this one specific app. And so you can't like buy him books, because it's not like he's like a book reader where he reads like a specific genre. And then he golfs, which he buys all of his own golf stuff. Phil was like, I don't get why you guys aren't just getting him like a gift card to Golf Galaxy. And I was like, honestly, that's kind of a good idea.
I said, I forgot about Golf Galaxy, but I was saying we should have just done American Airlines.
Yeah, that just seems so boring.
It is boring, but it's practical.
I know.
I'm looking at the Goodman brand, and just a t-shirt, which by the way, they're out of like larges and XLs, but like just a t-shirt is anywhere from like $650 to $60. So
that's not pricier.
Horrible.
That's not horrible
it's
for
not
a
horrible.
nice t-shirt.
Yeah. It's not horrible, but I can't slide it with under the radar before Isaac would notice.
Okay. So my last thing I wanted to give you guys, I don't know if we helped you at all on the gift buying front, but maybe if you want to get your dad an oversized sweatshirt poncho. I wanted to give you 2 book recommendations if you're looking for like Christmas holiday romances, ones that I've actually read. So the first one that I read last year, actually Whitney read it too, is called The Holiday Swap. And it's about 3 different girls that are they met at like camp when they were kids. And they basically all like switch for Christmas. So it's kind of like the holiday, but it's 3 different girls and they all fall in love at the new place that they're at.
Naturally,
which is so unrealistic. But it was really cute. There's no like spicy scenes. Excuse me. So if that does bug you, then
if it bugs you that there's no spicy scenes.
Or I was gonna say, like, if it bugs you if there's spice scenes in books, like that's a closed door romance where there's no like spice. It's just a really cute, like, and they like talk about doing Christmas activities. There's like snowballs, fights and stuff. Like there's just like snow and Christmas movies and like things you would want, to read about from the holidays. I did read a really spicy romance, but I'll give you another one that I'm reading right now called The Mistletoe Motive. And it's about a girl and a guy that both work in a bookstore and they have to have a competition to see who sells the most books.
So it's like a Hallmark movie in a book.
Basically, yeah. And it's only like 170 pages. So if you want a romance book that's like not super overwhelmingly long, because some people don't want to read like a whole month just of like Christmas romance. But yeah, it's basically like a Hallmark book, Hallmark related kind of book. So anyways, that was all things Christmas from us here at the Sisterhood Society podcast. We are officially back with season 2. So you'll get episodes from us weekly. Don't forget, sooner than later, I think we're thinking the new year, we're going to have a Patreon for you guys to be able to sign up for, which is going to be extended content from us where you guys get more behind the scenes video content or just extra episodes we wouldn't naturally upload to the podcast. So if you liked what you heard, please make sure to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts so you can help boost our podcast. And we'll see you guys in the next one. We love you. Bye.
Bye.